CJ Smith, who's 6'7" wing, was out the previous scrimmage and more than likely a starter. So we had 3 guys that were out, and even in the jamborees we were missing guys. And so we had those guys all together for the first time down at NSU, and we played well. I was encouraged by the performance. It was nice seeing the whole group together, seeing what I think we could be, and we played well. It was a scrimmage, but we ended up winning by 16 points, which was very encouraging going into the season.
Absolutely. And Coach, of course, no easing into the season, no cupcake opponents to get the season started. Fort Scott took your group to overtime last year. Of course, very different personnel on both sides than we'll see tonight. But this Fort Scott team, again, projected to come 3rd in the D2 preseason rankings. So you're getting your season started with a tough opponent.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit on them from scrimmages. They've got some very aggressive guards. They'll play both ends. Offensively, they're very aggressive. They like to attack. They got some good shooters. Defensively, they like to get up in your guards and try to take them out of their timing and rhythm. So, we're going to have to handle that stuff early. And then, just make adjustments as the game goes along, because, in your first game, even though you've seen stuff in scrimmages, things change come game time. So we'll have to make some adjustments as the game goes on, and hopefully the guys play up to what I think they're capable of doing.
Like you said, Coach, great length and size on this Fort Scott roster. 12 players on this roster are between 6'4" and 6'9", so not a lot of small guards, but not necessarily a pure 6'11", 7-foot center. So with all of this length at the guard and wing spot, where do you see your advantages on the offensive end?
We put a long team out there also. After our point guards, whether it be Brian Griffith or Javen Kofer at the point, then we go with Chris Carroll, who's 6'6", 230, and CJ Smith at 6'7", and then we got Janai Summers, who's 6'6", and Geo Walton from Canada, he's 6'4", and so our guards are big also. And then our forwards were 6'7", 6'9", and 7 foot. So most nights when we go out there on the floor, we're not going to be too worried about the size of the other teams. We're going to be able to match up pretty well with that.
Coach, the head coach of Fort Scott, Blake Cochran, enters his 2nd season, won the 2nd most conference wins in Fort Scott history in his first year, also their most home wins in school history. So he had quite the first impression in his first season at Fort Scott. What did you learn about his coaching style in the matchup last year?
Yeah, he did a heck of a job with those guys. I remember his forwards last year were really good, to the point where I was upset we didn't recruit one of them because we had an opportunity. But no, they were good players. They played hard. The D2 league in Kansas is one of the best in the country. It's got very good competition. Allen County's always good. KCK, who we scrimmaged a week or so ago down here, Fort Scott. There's some real Neosho. There's some really good Division II schools in the Jayhawk Conference. So it's going to be a heck of a battle, and Blake has proven that he knows what he's doing. So it should be a heck of a ball game.
Coach, obviously could be very different with what we see in this one compared to last year with all the new players on this team, but something that the Fort Scott offense preached last year was diversity of scoring. They had 6 different players on their roster, average at least 10 points per game. Obviously, new guys, but I'm sure they'll keep the same philosophy and try to spread the wealth offensively. So how do you make sure, obviously, you can't really key in on 1 or 2 guys on this roster, but not really knowing a lot about this roster, what's your strategy defensively?
Yeah, it's just play our rules. It's just the guys are starting to pick it up pretty good, knowing what our rules are defensively. They don't change much at all, game to game. And then, over the course of the game, you figure out what the other team's trying to do, where they're trying to attack you. So, yeah, some teams that don't have as much depth, it's kind of benefit them because your kids basically got to play 4 minutes, and then they're going to get a minute rest. At the D1 level, they get 2 minutes, but we'll get a minute. But still, we're going to play a lot of guys. I like the depth of this team, and we'll get 10 guys in the game.
Red Ravens open the season against Fort Scott at Nellis Hall. Coach Jay Herkelman, good enough to join us. Coach, thanks so much as always. Best of luck tonight.
Okay, thanks.
Hello and welcome to the Red Raven men's team in action against the Fort Scott Greyhounds. I'm Shane Neal, Chris Freund alongside with me, and we've got a good one in store for you tonight. Ravens taking the floor for the first time this season in year number 29 for Jay Herkelman. Starting lineups for both teams. First for the Greyhounds, number 1, BJ Francis. Number 2, Davian Sargent. Number 11, Nixon Bess. Number 12, Dennis Kadrick. And number 33, Andre Norris. For the Ravens, we'll see number 2, the freshman point guard, Brian Griffith. Number 5, the freshman guard, CJ Smith. The Hutchinson transfer, number 15, Chris Carroll. And then, of course, the 2 returning sophomores to this team, number 23, Isaac Jackson. And number 24, Boubacar Keita. Are we getting this game started with a technical foul? What's happening here?
It sure does look like it, doesn't it?
Chris Carroll's about to shoot a free throw before we even start the clock.
And they don't know. The band doesn't know. They're still playing.
Now this is some sort of home court advantage here, huh? He gets to shoot before the ball's even tipped.
This is interesting.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. But it is a free throw for Chris Carroll, and he hits it. So first point for Chris Carroll is before the season technically starts. That was incredible.
That was, yeah, we'll have to find out from Coach Herkelman after the game exactly what happened there.
I have no clue, but it's 1-0 Ravens before we even tip the season off. Great start.
I like that.
Isaac Jackson will jump with Dennis Kadrick, and Jackson wins the tip. Battling for it is Fort Scott, but he stepped out of bounds. Raven basketball. Something I liked, Chris. I wish we had more time to talk about it, of course, before tip-off, but when the Ravens came out, they were led, of course, by Isaac Jackson and Boubacar Keita. And something I really liked from BK, he stood and he high-fived every single member of this team as they came to the bench. That's a leader right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Fake by C.J. Smith. Zone defense for Fort Scott to start the year. C.J. Smith for 3. It's off. Chris Carroll battles for the rebound. Brian Griffith, the starting point guard for Jay Herkelman tonight. Out of Owensboro, Kentucky. And there's a turnover, but Boubacar Keita steals it right back. C.J. Smith. And we've heard nothing but good things about BK, Chris. A guy that did not play a ton a year ago just due to the talent of Jordan Wilde and Hayden Brittingham and all those talented players on that roster, as Griffith takes a 3 and hits it. But BK, always in the gym, always working, and now's his opportunity to shine as a Raven.
Yeah, one of the hardest workers on the team for sure. There's a turnover.
Jay Herkelman likes his team's first minute of the season. And Griffith, Chris, we saw Griffith hit the 3 to get the year started. He averaged 21 points per game his senior year of high school. He's the all-time leading scorer in Owensboro high school history. How about that?
Gotta like that. But you don't like the turnover right there.
You do not. But I'll tell you what, this is a big lineup. Obviously, Griffith is about 5'11", but other than that, Carroll 6'6", Jackson 6'7", C.J. Smith is 6'7", and BK 6'9". Big lineup. That one poked by Carroll, able to keep it alive is Sargent. Straight on 3 is short by Kadrick. Rebound Carroll. Griffith hands it off to Chris Carroll. Carroll's got 1 point that he scored before the year started. And he's fouled by Andre Norris. And Chris, if we had a little bit more time to talk in the pregame, that was a guy I really wanted to talk about. The Hutchinson transfer, Chris Carroll, who scored 8 points against the Ravens last year, and Jay Herkelman could not be more excited to have him in red and white this year. He is a fantastic player.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, of course, he was recruited by Coffeyville out of high school.
It was down to Hutch in Coffeyville, and he chose Hutch, but now he's where he belongs in Coffeyville. Going up strong, and a foul is called, and that'll send Chris Carroll back to the free throw line. And Chris, he's a 6'6" guard, but he looks like a defensive lineman out there. He is a wide guard. He is a big guy.
Yeah, just look at those shoulders and good grief.
He's incredible.
Absolutely.
I mean, you saw guys like Nathan Johnson and Sodi Nafpliotis playing guard for this team last year. He's not the exact same frame as them. This is a guy that you could play at shooting guard, you could play at small forward, you could probably play him at center if you wanted to, just because of how wide and broad he is. But why do that when you have Boubacar Keita and Charles Caporaso, who I'm sure we'll see plenty of tonight?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
6-0 Ravens. 3 points for Carroll, 3 points for Griffith. Fort Scott, of course, took Coffeyville to overtime a year ago. Sargent hands it off. Fake the shot. That should have been a travel. Was not called. And Coach Herkelman agrees. Sargent the fake. The kick to the wing. This is B.J. Francis. Francis the drive. The kick. Lost it out of bounds. Fort Scott scrambling against this Red Raven defense that's come out swinging season.
This defense is something else. Can't wait to see this all season long.
11 new players on this team, Chris. Well, 12 if you count Chris Carroll. 11 freshmen plus Chris Carroll. But Jay Herkelman said this team, and that's going to be, I believe, an over and back. And that's freshman mistake by Brian Griffith there. But 11 freshmen plus Chris Carroll. But Jay Herkelman says if this team reaches their ceiling, Chris, this is not just one of the best teams in the conference. This is one of the best teams in the country from a talent perspective. Fort Scott basketball at midcourt. Still looking for their first points of the season. B.J. Francis gets a screen. Handoff. This is Kadrick. Kadrick, nice drive by Sargent. Goes to the reverse, and he's blocked by BK.
BK had it his way there.
Boubacar Keita looking strong on defense to start the season. Francis stumbles. Griffith hits the deck with him. And what's the call there? Was that a timeout? I think they took a timeout while the ball was on the ground. And It is a 30-second timeout. We'll stay here, but Chris, our keys to the game that we would have gotten to if we had time. Of course, we're kind of getting used to our flow as well here to start the season, but I had 3 of them. Game experience. This is a very young team, as we're going to see tonight throughout the course of the start of the year. Just getting the minutes on the floor in a meaningful game, that's a win in itself. 2, protect the ball. Fort Scott led the Jayhawk last year with 12 steals per game. A lot of freshmen out there. Make sure you protect the ball. Don't give Fort Scott free points. And 3, find your rhythm offensively. So far, they found a rhythm. We'll see if they can keep it for 40 minutes.
They have found a rhythm offensively, but they've also found a rhythm defensively, and that's just hard, fast, just tight man defense, and it sure has worked out so well.
And we really haven't even said the name Isaac Jackson yet.
No, that's true.
It's been Chris Carroll and Brian Griffith on offense, and I'll tell you who it's been on defense, Boubacar Keita.
Yeah.
Big screen, good look for Francis, in and out. Rebound, Jackson and Smith kind of got tangled up, and Fort Scott's going to get an extra possession out of it, but Smith comes up with the steal. 6'7" shooting guard, that'll help. Just having 7-foot wingspan in the passing lanes.
Goodness.
Griffith gets a screen from Keita. Keita, pull-up jump shot, and it's off. Rebound collected by Andre Norris. But I like the aggressiveness from BK. Norris, stop and start, goes right at Isaac Jackson, missed it. Jackson the rebound. And that was good defense by Isaac Jackson to go straight up.
Yeah.
Brian Griffith is one heck of a player, Chris. We saw it in the Jamboree, but one of the biggest, struggles early on is Carroll sends a 3 and missed it. One of the biggest struggles for this team early on, not just with Griffith, but also with Javen Kofer, 2 freshman point guards running a very complex offense of Jay Herkelman.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you talk about in-game experience. That's only going to get better as they go along.
Sargent step-back jump shot, no good. Griffith comes out of the pack with the basketball. We're 4 minutes in, and the Raven defense hasn't allowed a point. BK attacking, goes up, banked it in. Would you believe he just got cleared from a high ankle sprain like a week ago?
Oh, good grief. You roll, BK.
And there's a drive and score by Dennis Kadrick, first points of the year for the Greyhounds. And I love this coaching staff, man. They've played almost flawlessly for 4 minutes, give up one score, and Jake Odom screaming. He's furious.
Right.
This is a championship caliber coaching staff. Every single play you got to win. Chris Carroll had that deflected, and that'll be Fort Scott basketball. First timeout of the season. We'll see a couple subs for the Ravens. Javen Kofor, Johnny Summers coming in when we come back. It's 8-2 Coffeyville early. We're back in 60 seconds on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
Their caregivers are prepared to help you with laundry, meals, housekeeping, shopping, and more. These helpful services are so reasonably priced, you can afford to pay for them yourself. In many cases, long-term care insurance or other sources provide assistance with the cost. Home is where the help is. Call Windsor Place At Home Care, 800-982-1866.
Enjoy the new, cool, refreshing taste of Outlaw Mile High Beer, now available at Gillum Liquor in Coffeyville for just $15.99 for a 24-pack of cans. And ask about their buy one, get one offer on Mile High Beer. And Gillum's is stocked with all your summer favorites, like the 17.5s, Captain Morgan, Tito's, and Crown. Pick up Captain Morgan's Tropical Punch, just $6.25, a savings of $15.74. Watch for more upcoming tastings at Gillum's Liquor, 1713 West 8th Street in Coffeyville.
Back here from Nellis Hall, and 8-2 Ravens. They've come out of the gates looking great. I'm Shea Neal, Chris Freund alongside with me. Chris, really nobody's looked poor for the Ravens so far, but it stood out for me on both ends of the floor. Chris Carroll, the new guard from Hutchinson, he stepped in and looked fit like a glove so far. And Boubacar Keita, who did not see the floor much in his freshman year, he's come out as a sophomore as one of the 2 returners, and he's looked like a star through 4 minutes.
Yeah, you can tell who has put in the work in the offseason. He is definitely one of them.
Alvin Cole, Johnny Summers, and Javen Kofor, the 3 new Ravens in with Chris Carroll and Isaac Jackson. Javen Kofor out of San Marcos, Texas, a very talented point guard. For almost any other team in this conference, Chris, he'd be starting, but he's competing with Brian Griffith.
That's a great combo.
This is Francis driving baseline. Got a step on Chris Carroll, but missed the shot. Rebound, Isaac Jackson. Now, Isaac said his goal this year is to average a double-double. Here comes Kofor. Summers fakes the shot. Driving. Johnny Summers, floater. Little strong. Fight for the ball. It ends up with Alvin Cole and one. Isaac Jackson fired up. And, Chris, that is a leader of this basketball team. He hasn't taken a shot yet. He's gotten a couple rebounds, but he's fired up like he just got the and one as the freshman Alvin Cole delivers. And, Chris, we're looking at a little media guide I put together in the offseason, and I'm very proud of it. I spent a lot of time on it. I think it has a lot of good stuff. But Alvin Cole, if you're looking at it, Chris, was the one player I really couldn't find much on. He's from Upper Coomera, Queensland, Australia, and really does not have much about his high school numbers or his JUCO or his AAU numbers. So we might have to talk to the coaching staff about what we can expect from him. But so far, 3 points.
Yeah, and so far, he's let his basketball doing the talk.
Floater is good there from Nixon Bess.
Talking, I guess I should say.
Here comes Javen Kofor. Ravens lead at 11-4 early in this one. Chris Carroll spinning. Looking for a screen from Cole. Carroll behind the back. Double team comes. Carroll kicks it to Jackson. Extra pass, Kofor. Kofor Summers, top of the key for 3. It's off. Rebound collected by Kadrick. Fort Scott down by 7, trying to chip away at this lead. Sargent, the drive, and draws the foul. That'll be on Alvin Cole, his first. And now we see Gio Walton check in. Gio Walton, one of the 3 Ravens that participated in the 3-point contest on Raven Madness. So this is a guy that can shoot. He's from Toronto, Canada. And Chris, something that really helped Fort Scott last year was their very talented bigs. That's what helped them stay in the game against the Red Ravens and force overtime. But so far tonight, we're only 6 minutes in. But so far tonight, the Ravens are the team with the better forwards.
Oh, no doubt about it. Strong forwards. You can tell they put in the work, and they're getting to the basket and getting those drives to count and playing great defense at the same time. 2
free throws for Davion Sargent. Fort Scott only down 5. Credit to the Greyhounds. I mean, it feels like it's been all Ravens so far, but it's only a 5-point game. Kofer. It's still a zone defense here by the Greyhounds. Kofer on the right wing, trying to find a hole in the zone. Summers inside, nice move, and he scores. Johnny Summers, the freshman from Evansville, Indiana. Just another guy on this team, Chris, at 6'6". They throw it up, that's stolen by Isaac Jackson, and it's going to be really hard for you to get a pass over the jumping ability of Isaac Jackson.
Yeah, a 6'7", yeah.
Javen Kofer tried to find Jackson on the other end, and that's a turnover. 13-6, Ravens lead. BJ Francis trying to go at Isaac Jackson, now hands it off to Kadrick for three, and that is off the iron, no good. Offensive rebound. Best goes back up, missed the shot. Cole got his hands on it, and Kofer is the one who cleans it up. So let's see what Javen Kofer shows here in his first stretch of college basketball. Nice pass by Isaac to Gio Walton. Walton the drive, got it back to Kofer. Summers has really been the leader of this bench unit so far in terms of putting shots up. Jackson, pass to Summers, he'll send another one, and put it in! Janai Summers with 5 off the bench.
Is it safe to say that Summers is hot?
I'll tell you what, it's cold outside, but Summers has it warm in here. Double team comes, they throw it off of Kofer. It will stay with the Greyhounds. And now we see the return of Boubacar Keita. BK, as Fort Scott has the ball here. This is Denham Smith. And that'll be a foul down low. I believe that's on Gio Walton. But something that BK said when we talked to him, Chris, and something I really like, Tyler Perry came and spoke to this team during the summer. Of course, the new K-State point guard, former Red Raven national champion point guard. And BK said, you know, something he really took away from that was just the amount of hard work and dedication it takes to go from a team like Coffeyville to a team like Kansas State. And I think Tyler Perry's message really sat with not just BK, but this entire team. They want to outwork everyone they go up against.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And if you're a Jay Herkelman player, you will outwork every other team.
Javen Kofer with it at 16-8 after the shot there by the Greyhounds. Kofer spinning, nice move, goes to the left hand. Javen Kofer. That's a pretty good scoop shot finish for your first score as a college basketball player. And now a steal. Kofer, Walton rising up, and a foul. Keita was there to clean it up, but it will be free throws for Gio Walton. Man, I'll tell you what. I did see very limited Boubacar Keita last year as a freshman, Chris. This is not the same guy.
No,
this is a completely different basketball player. Media timeout, 11:56 to go first half. Ravens 18, Greyhounds 8. Coffeyville looks good. We're back in 60 seconds on US 98.
Largest selection of in-stock carpet, luxury vinyl plank, tile, area rugs, and more in many styles, brands, and colors. New furniture always brightens a home. We have a great selection of furniture, including sofa sets, recliners, and mattresses. Economy to premium, in stock and ready to brighten your home. Shop now at your local Derailed Commodity Flooring and Furniture, Brazelton in Independence, Kansas, and Joplin and Butler, Missouri.
Taco Mayo's new Filet Olé Steak Bowl is piled high with filet mignon.
It's filet mignon.
A heaping bowl loaded with refried beans, Mexicali rice, cheddar jack sour cream, and tender filet mignon.
It's filet mignon.
Filet mignon. Filet mignon.
Filet mignon. Filet mignon.
Savor the juicy Filet Olé Steak Bowl stacked with filet mignon and only from Taco Mayo.
That's a wrap.
No, that's a bowl.
Chris, I think, heading into tonight, and I'd still be fired up, but I'll tell you what, the girls put on one heck of a performance that was going to be tough to top, and so far the guys are doing everything they can to top that performance.
Oh yeah, they have come out really strong. The defense for the Lady Ravens, absolutely incredible. The guys, just as incredible. Incredible defense, and now looking to add from the free throw line.
And I think so far, we've had We've had a variety of guys that have impacted this Raven team so far. Gio Walton at the free throw line, the freshman from Toronto. He played post-grad at Moravian Prep in Hudson, North Carolina last year. But Chris, a lot of guys that have made an impact so far, including Javen Kofer, who just came in as off the bench. But I think so far, through the first 9 minutes of the season so far, the guy that's really stood out to me, it has to be, Mr. Return Man, Boubacar Keita. He's been great on defense. He's been great on offense. He's just looked really strong. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's like a switch has been flipped, and you can just tell that not only has he worked physically but mentally as well on his game. Great defense here from Boubacar on a point guard, and it's stolen by Janai Summers, who's also been sensational so far. Walton goes up. That shot is blocked. It'll stay with the Ravens. That should have been a foul. But that was a hard no call right there. But Chris, I think, I talked to BK a little bit a couple weeks ago, and something that you really get when you talk to him is just a hardworking, determined, passionate guy that just loves the game of basketball. And, I believe as Walton takes a three here off the inbound, missed it. Alvin Cole tries to keep it alive, but he stepped on the baseline. But I think, when you look at how Jay Herkelman coaches, Chris, it's, you work hard for him and he'll work hard for you. BK didn't get to play a ton last year, but he was in the gym every day working hard. He was a great teammate. He worked hard in practice, and now he's getting an opportunity, and he's making the most of it so far. Yeah, I have a feeling the career-high 6 points that he scored last year is going to kind of fall very quickly. Might fall tonight. Another turnover by Fort Scott as Smith's pass to Sargent sails wide. And now we've got the starters coming back in. Chris Carroll, C.J. Smith, Brian Griffith, and Isaac Jackson. But, Chris, like we said with the ladies, same thing could be said with the guys. The second team, the bench unit for this team, would be a starter almost anywhere else. Oh, no doubt about it. You telling me Javen Kofer, Johnny Summers would be off the bench for other schools? No shot. No way. They'd be starters. Griffith, guarded by Denham Smith. Hands it off to Chris Carroll. Carroll guarded very closely. They know what Chris Carroll can do offensively. He drives, he pulls up, and he missed it. Rebound, Keita, and Jackson got hands on it, but it is Fort Scott that comes down with it. Denham Smith trying to get a pass down low. Carroll and Jackson bring the double team. Now they work it back up top. Brian Griffith on Denham Smith, freshman on freshman. Drive. Keita got a piece of that one, but I believe it's going to be a foul on Griffith. Keita hit the deck pretty hard, but I think he's okay. Yeah, the way he hopped up, he's definitely all right. He's a lot like, Chris, I think we're going to see with BK like we saw with Hayden Brittingham last year. Just a guy that you can't tell him to dial it back. He's going to jump up for blocks. He's going to jump up for dunks. It's going to worry you about rolling an ankle, but that's just who he is as a player. Yeah, you can't change who he is, and I don't think he'd want to. Free throw up and good from Denham Smith. Like I said, Chris, credit to the Fort Scott Greyhounds. Coffeyville, it feels like I've just dominated this game so far for the first 10 minutes. But Fort Scott is just one run away from potentially tying it up. Yeah, no doubt. In and out on the second free throw. Keita the rebound. 19-9 Ravens. 10.5 to go first half. Griffith hands it off to Chris Carroll. Carroll works his way back to the middle. Trying to find C.J. Smith. Now hands it off to Keita, who got it poked. And that's a turnover by the Ravens. Chris Carroll, of course, if you're just now joining us, played at Hutchinson last year. It was down to Hutch and Coffeyville when he was coming out of high school. He picked Hutch, played a little bit at Hutch last year, but did not like that fast pace of play. Decided to get a fresh start with Jay Herkelman, and I'm sure Coach Herkelman very happy he gets to add a guy with some experience to this roster. Underneath, it's up and in for Kadrick. And Fort Scott scored 3 consecutive points. Fort Scott, this team is scrappy. You cannot count them out at any point of this game. C.J. Smith, pressure comes. Got to get rid of it. Gets it down low to Isaac Jackson, who finds Keita, who rises up. And BK already 2 points off his career high. Pass cross court. And Keita closes out. Nice defense there on Clayton Mossberg. Alley-oop inside, and Sargent finishes. That's just, I feel like that's college basketball, Chris. If one team dunks, the other team has to dunk. Three-pointer good. C.J. Smith coming back and beating the Fort Scott defense back the other way. Isaac Jackson the steal. Watch out. Isaac Jackson. And had it poked. Griffith comes up with it, and he's fouled. We're just waiting for the first Isaac Jackson liftoff of the year. I'll tell you what, Chris, 11 minutes in, I wouldn't believe that there's 12 new players on this team.
No, they feel like, even coaches
this
said
feels
that
like
they've
this feels
gelled.
right. This feels like they have 6-7 returners like the ladies.
Yeah. Even the coaches said that, it's just in the last week they have gelled in practice. It's because they finally gotten over the injury bug and finally gotten together and be able to work together. And it feels like a team that's been together a long time.
Chris Carroll off the inbound, fakes the three, now driving baseline, pull up jump shot is too strong. Rebound cleared out by B.J. Francis. Chris, first time we're seeing the 7-foot freshman out of Florida, Charles Caparasso, and he's called for the foul there. Caparasso, very interesting story, Chris. He's only played basketball for just over a year. He's a former state finalist swimmer, the 7'1" freshman out of Lake Mary, Florida.
Swimmer?
Well, I assume when you're 7'1", you probably cover a lot of ground when you
I would say so.
go through the water. It's like how, the biggest sharks are the fastest.
That's true.
And, Isaac Jackson, as they're going to...
I think there's another technical.
I think you're right.
How in the world? Or who?
And that's going to be a technical foul on Sargent, the redshirt freshman out of Houston. And that'll be another free throw for Chris. Chris Carroll's gotten... Let's see if he puts this free throw in. And he does. Chris Carroll has gotten the 2 easiest points of the year. Just taking free throws. Piece of cake.
Yeah.
We see number 30, Cameron Reyes, check in here for Fort Scott, as well as number 10, Mustafa Muhammad. Carroll knocks them both down. But Chris, most people on this Raven team think that Isaac Jackson is the funniest guy on the team. That's a pretty common consensus. Isaac, though, the voted funniest guy on the team, says Charles Caparasso is always making him laugh.
Oh, really?
So we got a freshman that's already doing a good job of getting the sophomores to laugh in practice.
Hey, if you can do that, you must be doing something right. I wonder what his favorite stroke is, since he's a swimmer.
Look, that's something we could ask him.
I guess so. I wonder what it's like to be 7'1" and know how to swim. Oh well.
At an elite level, he doesn't just know how to swim; he was a state finalist.
Exactly. I mean, good grief. Is there
Florida,
anything?
in the state of Florida, you know how many good swimmers are in Florida? That's all they do.
I mean, you have water, you might as well swim in it.
26-14 our score. This is C.J. Smith handing it off to Chris Carroll. Carroll steps into a three and left it short. Rebound collected by Muhammad. Here come the Greyhounds, down by 12. Reyes for three, too strong. Rebound Griffith. Griffith goes up, lost it on the way up, and then Fort Scott lost it on the way down. It'll stay with the Ravens. Chris, this feels eerily similar to the Lady Ravens in the first game of this doubleheader, and the fact that they're playing really well and in complete control of this game, and this by no means feels like the best they can play.
No, they have definitely not hit their top gear.
And they're up by 12 against a team projected to come third in their conference. This Fort Scott team is supposed to be really good this year. Chris Carroll catches the inbounds pass. Trying to get it down low to Caparasso. Charles goes up with the floater, missed it. Offensive rebound, C.J. Smith, and lost it out of bounds. It will stay with the Ravens. Last touch by Fort Scott.
I don't get this wrong. Fort Scott's not a bad team at all.
No.
They are quietly consistent.
Picked to finish third in their conference,
Yeah.
Chris. This is a team with a lot of expectations. Carroll missed it. Caparasso on the glass. And a jump ball on the way up. Caparasso wanted a foul. Coach Herkelman, man. I'll tell you what, he's one of a kind. Chris Carroll, of course, the Huts transfer. He started off a little slow with his shot. One of the best players on this team without question. And You hear Coach Herkelman say, well, you got to start hitting them if you're going to keep shooting them.
Yeah, really.
Going up, nice defense by Isaac Jackson, and he rips it away. Griffith, Jackson, Isaac attacking. We still have yet to see Isaac Jackson score this year, Chris. Carroll driving, what a move, missed it. And a foul underneath, I believe that'll be on CJ Smith.
That was a great move, wow.
Chris Carroll feels like one of those guys, we're going to hit a media timeout with 7.5 to go in the first half. Chris Carroll feels a lot like one of those guys, Chris, and I'm sure Hutch saw the same thing. 1 or 2 tweaks in his game, and he's going to be one of the 10 best players in this league.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Ravens up 12, 7.5 to go first half. We'll be back in 60 seconds on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
Then relax. NDB can protect your assets and save you money. They represent numerous insurance companies so that they can help you find the right insurance at the right price for you. NDB at 812 West 11th in Coffeyville. Call Ben Vietz at 620-251-1970 and relax.
It's truck season at Roman Chevrolet. All 2023 Chevy Silverados qualify for 0% interest. No payments for 90 days and $1,000 cash allowance for qualified buyers. We have a great selection of Silverados, and 2024 models are showing up daily. Roman Chevrolet will donate $5 to the American Cancer Society for every social media post shared. The goal is to donate $170,000. Test drive a new 2023 Chevy Silverado and check out the huge selection of pre-owned vehicles at Roman Chevrolet, 2313 West Main, Independence.
Freund alongside with me. Happy opening night in Coffeyville. Lady Ravens won by 52 in their season opener, defending that top 20 national ranking. And the guys, very young, very inexperienced, but Chris, they look very, very good.
Yeah, they look like they've been playing together for so many months, and they haven't. But they're gelling so well.
Muhammad hands it off to Reyes, Fort Scott basketball. Francis fakes, goes at Javen Kofer, and tries to hand it off and does. And nice ball movement there by the Greyhounds, and the three is good from Bryce Journey, the redshirt sophomore out of Owasso. There's a lot of good high school sports in Owasso, let me tell you.
That is for sure.
Backdoor cut by Janai Summers. Corner three, CJ Smith. And that's the second time in this first half Fort Scott's hit a shot. Felt like they've got some momentum, and CJ Smith says, not so fast. 29-17 our score. Ravens up by a dozen. Drive by Francis, the nice scoop layup.
Wow.
Freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas. Sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. But no matter what, you played high school sports in Texas, you're good at what you do. Was that pass by BK a little high? It's like we saw with the freshman quarterback for the Hutch Blue Dragons, Samari Collier. He played in Fort Worth, and he played for one of the best high school teams, DeSoto High School in Texas. And it's like you play high school sports in Texas, you've basically already been playing college sports.
Exactly.
Reyes fakes, hands off Francis. Javen Kofer from Texas, the Raven point guard out there right now. Francis can't hit over Kofer, rebound CJ Smith. Eric Green also from Texas on this Raven roster. Isaac Jackson trying to go right at the defense. Jackson is fouled on the way up. Collides with a cheerleader, but good news is everyone's okay. That was a heck of an athletic play by that Raven cheerleader down there, because she got Isaac's head kind of right on that left leg while he was still going pretty fast. She was able to keep herself up and also brace the fall for Isaac. That's a team player right there.
No, exactly. Dual role, doing both very well.
Isaac, I'm sure, will be thanking her after the game. Hey, thanks for not letting my head hit the floor.
Exactly. I think we all will be saying thank you for that.
No doubt about it. Of course, nobody on this team you want getting hurt, but Isaac Jackson, one of those guys that it feels like it would be detrimental to lose a guy like him. Brian Griffith's back in for CJ Smith. And Chris, this is the first time this year we'll see both point guards on the floor at the same time. Griffith, who's known as the scorer, and Kofer, who's more of the athletic playmaker. So it'll be interesting to see who's the primary ball handler here with both of them on the floor. Jackson 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Sargent. Ravens playing a little bit of press defense here. And there's a scoop layup, no good. Rebound collected by Kofer. Kofer can fly. Hands it off Griffith. Griffith, deep three, no hesitation, and he left it just a hair short. And Isaac Jackson almost hit the exact same cheerleader. She's got to be thinking, man, what are the odds?
What did I do?
Like a heat-seeking missile. Red Raven Spirit Squad, they're going to have to keep their heads on a swivel with guys like BK and Isaac always flying in the paint.
No doubt about it.
We might have to keep our head on a swivel.
Uh-huh.
I know I don't want 6'9" Boubacar Keita coming at me.
No thanks.
Brian Griffith all the way, goes up, lays it in. Ravens 32, Fort Scott 19. 5 minutes to go, first half. Sargent hands it off to Reyes. Excuse me, this is Nixon Bess. Sargent with it back on the right wing, attacking. Sargent lost it. Isaac Jackson comes away with the basketball. Kofer again. Ravens playing fast, picking up some momentum. Kofer hands it off Janai Summers. Cross-court pass, Griffith sends it for three. And a little bit strong. Isaac on the glass. Puts it up and in. And one. Isaac Jackson.
I think we have our question answered there.
That's Isaac's offense, Chris. I mean, something that Dirk Andrews and I talked about. Isaac has a chance to be one of the best forwards in this league if he doesn't force it. Right. You don't need to, take 20 shots a game to score 20 points a game.
Right.
You control the paint like he did last year, like he did on that play. You're athletic. You can finish inside, knock down some free throws, play good defense. He'll be averaging a double-double, and he'll be one of the key pieces of this team.
Free throw goes.
16-point lead for the Ravens against a very good Fort Scott team. Inside they go, and that's going to be a late foul call. I believe that'll be on Griffith. So Griffith listed as 5'10", and Chris, but I think with the hair he's more like 6'1".
Yeah, I would say so.
Just like Janai Summers, 6'6", but he might be 6'8" with the hair.
Exactly. Hair makes a difference. Trust me, I would know.
First free throw good from Dennis Kadrick.
I'm 6'1", but with my hair, I'm 6'7". If it's up.
Something interesting about this Fort Scott team, Chris. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players on this roster from the state of Texas. You think Coach Blake Cochran has a hot spot for finding players?
It's a possibility.
Hey, Texas, you could look a whole lot worse places than Texas.
Yeah, that's for sure.
2 free throws are good for Fort Scott. 35-21 as Kofer brings it up for the Ravens.
And it's not just players from Texas, but players with length from Texas.
No doubt about it. This is a very long team. They don't have a 7'1" guy, but not many teams do. Boubacar Keita with it on the right wing. Keita hands it off to Janai Summers. Summers nearly tripped. Unbelievable play to keep his dribble. Keita, what a spin move. BK can't hit. Jackson on the glass again. Isaac Jackson. And if BK and Isaac can feed off each other like that, Chris, they are going to be a dynamic duo. The drive from Bess, and he's fouled. That might be on Isaac. That's on BK, excuse me.
And media timeout.
Final media timeout of the first half. Ravens 37, Fort Scott 21. This Coffeyville team, they're young, but they're exciting. We're back in 60 seconds on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
With Medical Lodges is proud to supply that tender care in Coffeyville. Skilled nursing services, rehabilitation, adult daycare, and much more are all offered. Visit medicallodges.com or stop by 2921 West 1st in Coffeyville and learn more. Medical Lodges Coffeyville, where they serve and enhance the lives of others with caring hands.
This is Community State Bank at work. This is Community State Bank at work. This is Community State Bank at work in our community. From kids' activities to school programs to funding home and business loans, every day Community State Bank is at work in our neighborhood. Whether you bank at Community State Bank or not, they're working for you every day. Community State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Mike Avey, and at Community State Bank, we believe in Coffeyville.
Late first half. I'm Shane Neal. Chris Freund alongside with me. Chris, great crowd tonight at Nellis Hall for the season openers, and
it's safe to say most of them probably very happy with the talent on each of these Red Raven rosters.
The gel of both of these teams is absolutely incredible. We're not playing together until just the last couple of weeks because of injuries.
You can't anticipate injuries. You can't anticipate what some of these other teams in the league are going to look like. But I'll tell you what we've seen through a game and almost half of another game is both of these teams, if they stay on the court together, are going to be challenging for not just the KJCCC championship, but the national championship.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Both free throws missed. Rebound BK, but it's stolen right back by Fort Scott. Great defense by Denham Smith. That was Kadrick with the score. Janai Summers for three, in and out. Rebound collected by Bess. Fort Scott down by 14, trying to chip away before we go to the half. Down low, they try to get it. Kada got a hand on it. Still batted for, and it's finally taken by Denham Smith. Smith spinning. Hand off to Sargent. Sargent goes up. And that's going to be a late foul. Herkelman doesn't like it. He thinks he went straight up. That's a foul on Isaac Jackson. And that's one of the times that Jay Herkelman's yelling, but it's not at his team.
Right.
It's at the official.
Right.
And I think he's got a point. I think Isaac did go pretty straight up.
Well, he's also talking about BK getting hit in the gut as well.
How do you play defense if you can't go straight up?
Exactly.
One out of two for the Greyhounds at the free throw line. It's 37-24, 3:09 to go in this first half. Javen Kofer brings it up. It's Kofer, Summers, Jackson, Carroll, and Kada. Carroll, the drive, so quick with the right hand, and tried to get it to Jackson. It was taken. Francis steps into a three, and it's off. Rebound, Chris Carroll. Kofer. Ravens try to get some momentum back. Summers for three. That is in and out. Kada got a hand on it. It's still alive, and Kadrick just beats Jackson to the ball.
Isaac Jackson fighting for that rebound.
First little cold streak we've seen from the Ravens this year. We'll see how quickly they can snap out of it. Deep three from Sargent is off. Jackson, no problems with that rebound. 2:18 to go in this first half. Ravens up 37-24. And again, it feels like, Chris, this offense can unlock another level, and they're still on pace for 75 points. Handoff Kada, and that's about as easy as it gets. Perfect pick and roll, and BK with the flush. He's already tied his career high.
I think he flame kissed that rim there.
Francis, the drive, the kick, baseline drive, and trying to answer back. Excuse me. I think I got my mic down in time.
I think so.
It's close.
Split second.
Kada called for the foul, but I'll tell you what, going up with the right-hand tomahawk, Kada met him in the air. That was, there's some people that would make a business decision in a situation like that, but he challenged it.
He did.
C.J. Smith coming in for the Ravens. He'll be in for Boubacar Kada. Hasn't been perfect for Kada so far in the first half, but I'll tell you what, it's night and day to what we saw last year.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell he's been working in the gym.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But what's funny is one of the reasons why I didn't play last year is he told me Jay Herkelman called him too weak.
Oh, really?
I would say he took that personally.
He did something about that.
Yeah, he did. He said he was lifting every day.
Every day. I believe that.
Free throw is off. Rebound, C.J. Smith. 39-25. Minute 45 to go. And it would be huge for the Ravens if they could win these final 2 minutes and take a commanding lead to the break. Isaac Jackson.
Jackson hands it off to Carroll. Chris Carroll trying to step inside. He was tripped up. That's a foul. I'll tell you what, Chris. We haven't seen Chris Carroll score a ton in this first half, but it's just different when he has the ball in his hands. He is so quick. Chris Carroll, there was a guy in front of him when he caught the ball, and you blink and he's by you. It's incredible. He's so fast. I can see why Hutch wanted him in that fast-paced offense.
Sure. Yeah, he's got a great combination of speed and shooting and power, but he can see the floor and as he makes the free throw.
And so far, he's been a great free throw shooter.
Yeah.
That's something Jay Herkelman is very serious about.
Oh, absolutely.
His free throw shooting.
And you can definitely tell Fort Scott is paying attention to him.
And it's the same thing we said with the ladies, Chris. There's 8-9 guys on this Raven team that can score the basketball. Who do you try to slow down?
There's no way you can slow everybody down, so you got to focus on somebody, but who do you focus on?
Francis, the drive, and turned it over. And I'm excited to talk to Coach Odom after the game about, both of these teams have just looked so good defensively. And I think last year we saw, especially with Coach Herkelman's team, a team that could score a ton of points, but we're sloppy on defense. It's why they lost to Dodge. It's why they lost to Butler early in the season. This year's team, they seem poised and motivated on defense. Carroll the drive and the score. They're not bad on offense either.
No, not really, to say the least.
How about this, Chris? Feels like they're playing at a B level offensively, and they're on pace for 90 points.
That's amazing.
Double team comes. Fort Scott in trouble. This is Bryce Journey. B.J. Francis, top of the key, guarded like a blanket by Javen Kofer. Kadrick down low. Best, the spin. Back to Kadrick for three. That's off. Rebound, Chris Carroll. Ravens, 30 seconds left in the half. They lead it by 18, and a timeout taken by Jay Herkelman. And Chris, this is something we've seen every single game last year. You have to use one of those timeouts or you lose it. And nothing more important than momentum going into the break. You get a key stop, you get a key score. Jay Herkelman, very, very, very adamant about winning the last possession of the half.
Or you got to take it in. You might as well use it anyway, like you just said. So you might as well use it, but you might as well just draw something up that you know is not only going to give you a couple extra points, but might just be a little bit of a dagger as you head into that halftime. And if there's one thing this team knows, and Coach Herkelman knows how to do, is kind of put a dagger in, even if it's halftime.
I love that Jake Odom was a 6'5" guard that played Division I, and he's one of the smaller guys in that huddle.
That is amazing.
Isn't that hilarious?
That is.
Jay Herkelman's got height on Odom.
That's true.
I didn't realize until I saw all these guys standing in the same huddle. I didn't realize Jay Herkelman's like 6'5".
That's true.
I knew he was tall. I didn't know he was 6'5" tall. It's incredible. Well, now you know you have depth. If your guys get into foul trouble, you can just put in the coaches.
Yeah, really.
We'll do it ourselves.
What if they have any eligibility left?
We'll see. Jake, I don't know. Jake played 3 or 4 years. Hand it off to Kofer now. Kofer looking for a play. 12 to shoot. Now we'll see the Ravens go. Kofer guarded by Francis, looking for a screen from C.J. Smith. Kofer draws the double team. 5 to shoot. Carroll for 3. It is good. Christian Carroll for 3. Ravens have put up 46 in their first half of the year. The 3 at the buzzer is off. And Coffeyville has matched up with a team that took them to overtime last year and dominated through the front 20 minutes.
Wow.
Chris Carroll, he found his shot. What an end to the half for Chris Carroll.
There's a lot of players that have found their shot the last 3 minutes.
He was playing
specialist medical imaging, lab services, and the technology needed in an emergency, all right here. If you are faced with a life-threatening emergency, insist on the best and say, "Take me to CRMC."
You have a choice on where to go and who you want to be. Here at Coffeyville Community College, you can be you. We can make you workforce ready at one of our technical campuses, be a student athlete, join an honors program or an activity, have a voice with student government, and be involved with student life events. Our school believes in our red and white traditions, providing you with a quality education and preparing you for the next journey in life. Once you experience our campus, you know you've made the right choice. Let us help you make our story your story and become Raven proud.
If you could use a little help around the house, Windsor Place At-Home Care is the perfect solution for you. Their caregivers are prepared to help you with laundry, meals, housekeeping, shopping, and more. These helpful services are so reasonably priced, you can afford to pay for them yourself. In many cases, long-term care insurance or other sources provide assistance with the cost. Home is where the help is. Call Windsor Place At-Home Care, 800-982-1866.
Enjoy the new, cool, refreshing taste of Outlaw Mile High Beer, now available at Gillum Liquor and Coffeyville for just $15.99 for a 24-pack of cans. And ask about their buy one, get one offer on Mile High Beer. And Gillum's is stocked with all your summer favorites, like the 17.5s, Captain Morgan, Tito's, and Crown. Pick up Captain Morgan's Tropical Punch, just $6.25, a savings of $15.74. Watch for more upcoming tastings at Gillum's Liquor, 1713 West 8th Street in Coffeyville.
Make your home more comforting with help from Derailed Commodity. Update your flooring with the area's largest selection of in-stock carpet, luxury vinyl plank, tile, area rugs, and more in many styles, brands, and colors. New furniture always brightens a home. We have a great selection of furniture, including sofa sets, recliners, and mattresses. Economy to premium, in stock and ready to brighten your home. Shop now at your local Derailed Commodity Flooring and Furniture, Brazelton in Independence, Kansas, and Joplin and Butler, Missouri.
This is Meat Mountain, and up there on the summit awaits the all-new Filet-O-Lay Steak Bowl from Taco Mayo. A heaping bowl filled with Mexican favorites and literally erupting with filet mignon. The Filet-O-Lay Steak Bowl can be yours if you make it past Chuck's Steak Canyon and the deadly sirloin abyss. Filet mignon beckons, my friend, on the meaty, mighty pinnacle of beefdom. The Filet-O-Lay Steak Bowl from Taco Mayo. Welcome to Meat Mountain.
Ravens lead it 46-25 at the break. I'm Shane Hill, Chris Freund alongside with me. Thanks for hanging out with us, whether you're on US 98 or the Red Raven Sports Network, or both. Some people are hanging out on both.
Yeah, why not?
And that, we call those people overachievers.
That's true.
And we do like ourselves some overachievers.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Ravens have looked strong through the front 20 minutes. Chris, you've got the first half stats. Why don't you let us know what we need to know?
Absolutely. We'll start with the Fort Scott Greyhounds. They are led in scoring by Davion Sargent and Dennis Kadrick with 8 points each. And then Bryce Journey and Bess have 3 points. Interesting stats here from Fort Scott, shooting 35%, basically 8 of 23 or 34% from that's total field goal percentage. 1 of 9 from three-point range, and 8 of 14 from the free throw line, 57% from the free throw line. So, that's something they'll want to improve as they go throughout the second half for Fort Scott.
And Chris, you look at this, and the Ravens are just winning in every facet of the game. They're winning the shooting percentages, shooting 45%. They've hit 11 of 13 free throws, which I know Jay Herkelman's happy about. They've hit 5 of 14 from 3. They have more assists. They have more rebounds. They've forced more turnovers.
Yeah.
Every single thing you need to do to win a basketball game, Coffeyville is doing better than Fort Scott right now.
That is for sure. And as we switch gears to the Red Ravens, they are led in scoring by Chris Carroll with 12 points, including 7 of 7 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
We knew he was a good free throw shooter, but 7 of 7, you got to love that.
Yep.
So 12 points for Chris Carroll, followed by Isaac Jackson and BK with 6 each. Brian Griffin and Summers have 5 each. But, of course, the Red Ravens shooting 45% from the field, 35% from three-point range, and 84.6% from the free throw line. Yeah, and you're right. The Red Ravens winning in every aspect of this game, and they're just having a very good first half.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because they haven't reached that top gear offensively,
right?
But yet it feels like they could at any moment.
Well, and they're shooting, now that I look at these stats, these are good shooting numbers. And it seems like they're, you look at these numbers and you'd say they're having a great night offensively, but you're absolutely right. With the talent that we've seen, it just feels like a good night offensively is not this team's ceiling. This team's ceiling is an elite night offensively.
Yep, no doubt about it. And when you get both Kofer and Griffith on the floor, at least in this game, Kofer is definitely the point guard, and the shooting guard would be Griffith. But it's great to see both point guards working together, being on the floor at the same time. It just adds another dimension to the game.
Well, and I mean, how scary is it for teams around the league and around the nation? Like Chris Carroll put up 12 points in this first half and only hit 2 shots.
That's crazy.
How many points could he put up if he hit 6, 7, 8 shots?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, he was 2 of 8 from the field.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's scary for teams around the league.
Yeah, he could have 16, 18 points. Just if a couple of more of those shots fell.
You're not wrong there. And I'll tell you what. A big reason why this team playing so well, of course, is head coach Jay Herkelman. And some notes about Jay Herkelman. I don't need to tell you how good of a coach he is. But he's entering year number 29 as head coach, 8-time Region 6 Coach of the Year, 15-time Jayhawk Conference Coach of the Year. Of course, won the national championship with Tyler Perry back in 2020, 2021. Winningest coach in Jayhawk Conference history and Region 6 history. And, of course, back in 2018, the NJCAA Hall of Fame induction. And, Chris, you know how good you have to be inducted into a Hall of Fame while you're still active?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's mind-blowing.
It is. It's absolutely crazy. But the cool thing about Coach Herkelman, you can just tell. You can just watch him. And sometimes it's almost just as entertaining to watch her coach as it is to watch the team. Yeah. It's amazing to see that fire is still there, that passion for the game, the passion to teach his players is still there. And that's something that, we need to appreciate that while it's still happening.
No doubt. And, we had him on at halftime of the Red Raven football game a couple of weeks back. And my favorite thing that he said is we asked him going into year number 29, what is it about Coffeyville that, keeps you coaching, that keeps you motivated? And he said, I'm going into my 29th year as head coach here, and I'm just as excited for year number 29 as I was for year 1. It's hard to find coaches like that.
Yeah, and it's hard to find coaches that stay in one institution, let alone move around a Hall of Fame career.
I guarantee you he's had opportunities to go elsewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. And you would have to be an idiotic organization if you didn't try to go after Coach Herkelman at one point. But for him to be here this long and still have that fire, yeah, this is good stuff.
No doubt about it. Scores around the conference as we get the season started in the Jayhawk. And like we mentioned earlier on the women's side, Cali Tigers over Tabor College, 57-46. Independence in Rob Beckman's head coaching debut, 88-87 over Northern Oklahoma Tonkawa. What a game that was. I might have to go back and find the footage of that.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like it was a great game. Congratulations to Coach Beckman on his first career win. Heston falls to Sterling, 65-63. Of course, Red Ravens over Labette, 83-31. Dodge City comes back and beats South Plains, 85-78. Allen County, 68-41 over McPherson. Northwest Tech down 52-43 late in that game. And coming up tomorrow, you'll see Johnson County, you'll see KCK, and you'll see the Butler Grizzlies, which I know is a team that everyone's excited to see.
Yeah.
That Butler Grizzlies team. On the men's side this year, Howard College, one of the better teams in Texas, but they beat Dodge City 66-59. No more Jason Edwards. A lot of losses from that Dodge City team that was the 1 seed a year ago, and they start the year 0-1, be it to a really good Howard team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A very good team, but a lot of different faces leads to a lot of changes sometimes.
No doubt about it. 77-72 Labette over Southwestern, Neosho County, Cloud County also in action tonight. Seward County down big to Tonkawa at half. Highland up on University of St. Mary's. And, of course, Coffeyville routing Fort Scott so far in this one. Heston up big. Garden City up by 1 at the break on McCool Community College. That's a great school name, McCool Community College. How about that? And then Northwest Tech in action tomorrow, as is Colby and Pratt. So all these teams getting their season started around the league. And I'll tell you what, out of what I've seen so far, I haven't seen everybody, but out of what I've seen so far, Ravens might look like the top team on night 1.
Yeah, this is an exciting first night, both men's and women's games. for CCC.
The Butler Grizzlies, they're going to have to put on a show in their first game of the year to match what Coffeyville is pulling off tonight.
Sure.
Let me tell you that. This has been the Red Raven Halftime Show presented by Community State Bank. Big thanks to our friends at Community State Bank for sponsoring the Red Raven Halftime Show. We're going to step away for 4 minutes. Second half coming up next on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
And save you money. They represent numerous insurance companies so that they can help you find the right insurance at the right price for you. NDB at 812 West 11th in Coffeyville. Call Ben Vietz at 620-251-1970 and relax.
At Coffeyville Regional Medical Center, we take seriously our responsibility of caring for our friends and neighbors. We are your regional healthcare system, caring for Southeast Kansas and Northeast Oklahoma. With comprehensive technology and experienced medical staff, caring medical professionals, and a 24-hour emergency room staffed with emergency medicine physicians, we are people you know and healthcare you trust. For more information, visit our website, crmcinc.org.
It's truck season at Roman Chevrolet. All 2023 Chevy Silverados qualify for 0% interest, no payments for 90 days, and $1,000 cash allowance for qualified buyers. We have a great selection of Silverados, and 2024 models are showing up daily. Roman Chevrolet will donate $5 to the American Cancer Society for every social media post shared. The goal is to donate $170,000. Test drive a new 2023 Chevy Silverado and check out the huge selection of pre-owned vehicles at Roman Chevrolet, 2313 West Main, Independence, your Silverado city.
When you need to rely on a nursing facility for the care of a loved one, wouldn't it be comforting to know that the owner is providing the care? Owner Stephanie Bean with Medical Lodges is proud to supply that tender care in Coffeyville. Skilled nursing services, rehabilitation, adult daycare, and much more are all offered. Visit medicallodges.com or stop by 2921 West 1st in Coffeyville and learn more. Medical Lodges Coffeyville, where they serve and enhance the lives of others with caring hands.
Ralph, did you pay the electric bill?
Yes, Donna. I paid it using Community State Bank's online bill
You know
payment.
you can save a lot of time using online bill pay from Community State Bank.
Yes, Donna. I know. And it's really easy.
Easy, too. Just log into our Community State Bank account.
And sign up for Community State Bank's online
And
bill
sign
payment.
up for online bill pay.
Yes, Donna. We can do that for all of our
And
bills.
you can do that for all of our bills.
Yes, Donna. Community State Bank is almost as smart as you are.
Well, thank you, Ralph. Glad I could help. I love you, Ralph.
Community State Bank. Member FDIC.
I love you too, Donna.
You have a choice on where to go and who you want to be. Here at Coffeyville Community College, you can be you. We can make you workforce ready at one of our technical campuses, be a student athlete, join an honors program or an activity, have a voice with student government, and be involved with student life events. Our school believes in our red and white traditions, providing you with a quality education and preparing you for the next journey in life. Once you experience our campus, you know you've made the right choice. Let us help you make our story your story and become Raven proud.
If you could use a little help around the house, Windsor Place At-Home Care is the perfect solution for you. Their caregivers are prepared to help you with laundry, meals, housekeeping, shopping, and more. These helpful services are so reasonably priced, you can afford to pay for them yourself. In many cases, long-term care insurance or other sources provide assistance with the cost. Home is where the help is. Call Windsor Place At-Home Care, 800-982-1866.
Enjoy the new, cool, refreshing taste. Coffeyville for just $15.99 for a 24-pack of cans. And ask about their buy one, get one offer on Mile High Beer. And Gillum's is stocked with all your summer favorites like the 17.5s, Captain Morgan, Tito's, and Crown. Pick up Captain Morgan's Tropical Punch, just $6.25, a savings of $15.74. Watch for more upcoming tastings at Gillum's Liquor, 1713 West 8th Street in Coffeyville.
Raven basketball, second half underway here at Nellis Hall. Ravens up 21. Chris Carroll to drive, and he draws the foul. It will be no basket. Man, you got to think. I'll tell you what. I've heard. I spoke to Glenn Grunwald a couple weeks ago, Chris, the voice of the Hutchinson Blue Dragons, one of the best broadcasters in this conference and around the state. And he said this Hutchinson team this year looks very, very good. I'm excited to see them play. But you have to think that Coach DeSalmi is watching Chris Carroll here tonight. He's like, man, what could have been in Hutch.
Yeah, no doubt.
As Chris Carroll scores again. And I'm sure Jay Herkelman's sitting here like, oh, man, am I glad it didn't work in Hutch.
No doubt.
You know what they say, Chris? One man's rotation player is another man's superstar. I think that's how the saying goes.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
The drive, the nice floater, nice finish by Nixon Bess, and that was good defense by C.J. Smith. You really can't play that any differently. That's just better offense as Chris Carroll lost it out of bounds. We talked to Dirk Andrews a little bit at the half, Chris, and I mean, it's the common consensus here with everyone here on press row, if you will, at Nellis Hall, is that these teams still have another level to unlock, maybe a couple levels to unlock, and they just look so dang good.
They do.
And a turnover by Fort Scott. I don't think you've been a Coffeyville Red Raven sophomore starter until you've been yelled at by Coach Herkelman.
Right.
Just ask Hayden Brittingham and Jordan Wilder.
Exactly.
And they were first team all conference. I'll tell you what, I don't know if anyone got chewed out more than Hayden Brittingham did last year. Brian Griffith the drive, drew the contact going up. You know you're starting to get tired when you start making up words. Drawed the contact.
Yeah, you drew up the contact.
This is why I came 6th in the second grade spelling bee. I would have come 16th in the second grade grammar bee.
You know.
First one for Griffith rolls off.
I did actually spell the word correctly that knocked you out.
Antonym, you're right.
Yes.
You did. It was impressive. Now you did it about 36 years after I did it.
That's true. I had a little bit more time to learn it.
You did. Griffith knocks down the second.
Because I was twice as old as you are, but that's another story.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. You just let the people know.
I said it. I know.
That one was punted.
Hello.
For the scorer's table.
If you aren't awake on the scorer's row now, nothing's going to help.
And Chris, like I said, Brian Griffith, very anticipated freshman guard in this conference. He played at Owensboro, Kentucky. He's the all-time leading scorer in the history of that high school. And Chris, you want to know what his senior stats were? As Sargent goes up and draws the foul. In his senior year, Brian Griffith averaged 21 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals per game.
Those are some nice stats.
Those are stats that get you noticed by Jay Herkelman.
Exactly.
And I'm sure if he halves that in college, Coach Herkelman would take it. Put up 11, 2, 4. I'm sure he'd take that out of his point guard.
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously, you have to be pretty dang elite to score 21 a game in college. But
right.
Just ask Jason Edwards or Princess Anderson. Sargent goes to the line, knocks down a pair. 49-29 our score. I don't know. Is this another technical foul? No, okay. I saw Chris standing at the free throw line. I'm like, is this another one?
Right.
Isaac Jackson gets it to Griffith. Ravens beat the press up ahead to C.J. Smith. Smith pull-up jump shot. Not the best to look out of that sequence, but Isaac Jackson cleans up the mess, and Smith scores on the second try.
If at first you don't succeed, let Isaac get the rebound and try it again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another classic saying.
Exactly.
If at first you don't succeed, let Isaac Jackson get you a second try. As I believe that'll be a foul against Cada down low. And it's good to see that guys like Caparasso and Alvin Cole and, of course, Isaac Jackson are, looking strong because BK is a very aggressive player. That's his third foul, and like we said in the first half, Chris, you can't change the type of player that he is.
Right.
But I could definitely see in the early stages of this season BK being in a little bit of foul trouble sometimes. Just the way he plays.
Sure.
Griffith brings it up. Ravens up 22. Big screen from Isaac Jackson. Isaac gets the ball top of the key. Swings it right to C.J. Smith. C.J. tried to get it to Isaac. Isaac recovers. Isaac to the corner. Chris Carroll, great look, and put it in.
Was there any doubt that wasn't going in?
I wouldn't leave that guy open.
No. That looked true from the moment it left his hand.
There's about 14 guys on this roster I wouldn't leave open, but I definitely wouldn't leave that guy open.
Right.
And that one blocked by Isaac Jackson. Rebound, though, is good from Andre Norris. This team could be so good, man. This is crazy. This is them playing, I feel like, at like a 6.5 out of 10 level.
Yeah.
And they're up 23 on a good basketball team. What I want to know is that's going to be Carroll drawing the foul and one.
Wow.
And that's the 230 that comes with the 6'6". But Chris, I mean, they went down to Texas the first week of scrimmages, and I know the first week of scrimmages don't hold much weight. But they went 1-2. I want to know how good those Texas teams were to beat this team.
Yeah, really. And of course, you know, there were a few injuries during those first couple of scrimmages as well.
BK was recovering from an ankle injury, yeah. I'll tell you what, though. Deservedly so. The graphic for the first game of the year was Isaac Jackson, BK, and Chris Carroll. And those three, man, they look like they could be something special with this crew.
Yeah.
No offense to any of the guys on last year's team, because it was a really good team last year.
Definitely, yeah.
But this team looks like they could be, you know, just as good. That three is good from Denham Smith. Chris, and something that Dirk and I and Coach Herkelman talked about. Across the girls' game and the guys' game tonight, 3 players, 1 for Labette, 2 for Fort Scott, named Denham. How about that?
That's interesting.
And of all the names to have repeats of.
Right.
Andre Norris fakes the 3. You could see Andre Norris coming from Parsons with those shoes. He's got the Oregon Duck highlighters out there. As does Nixon Bess and now coming into the game, Clayton Mossberg.
What if they got a 3-for-1 deal on those?
They might have.
Buy one,
especially when you get a size 18 like they probably had to.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're getting them custom made, so we might as well get more than one of them.
Yeah.
Might help the Ravens on defense. I feel like out of your peripherals, you just see yellow move and you go. Another foul called underneath. That's on Isaac Jackson. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like that puts you at a disadvantage if you don't have the ball, because, I mean, I feel like guys like Isaac Jackson and Chris Carroll would just see yellow moving out of the corner of their eye and just go.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't really sneak behind them.
No, there is no sneaking in those shoes.
Offensive rebound by Bess, and he puts it up and in. Credit to Fort Scott. They have not gone quietly tonight. There's a steal by Sargent. Throws it up, and it's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Greyhounds. Isaac Jackson, certain he did not touch that. Ravens can't believe it.
Getting some clarification. But yeah, surely he didn't touch it. Surely there wasn't anyone that touched it.
I mean, it just looked like Sargent just went straight up and lost it. Didn't look like it was blocked or anything. Inbounds pass. Jackson got a hand on it. And Jackson and Bess racing to it. Isaac comes away with it and draws the foul.
Man.
2 big bodies hit the floor. And did they call the foul on Isaac?
I don't know if that's a foul or if that's just possession to Fort Scott.
Isaac a little banged up, as he should be, landing on the court like that.
Yeah. You talk about leaving it all on the floor. Fort Scott's ball. Wow.
Denham Smith, and we heard Jay Herkelman say a word that cannot make its way to the air. That's the same cheerleader that Isaac Jackson has collided with twice. She's starting to clap like, you know, like this is fate. Unbelievable. She's a heat-seeking missile, Chris.
Aimed right forward.
2 Isaac Jackson plays and a stray basketball.
And she's taking them all.
That's incredible.
She's a Red Raven cheerleader.
Media timeout. Ravens up 21. We're back in 60 seconds on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
Of in-stock carpet, luxury vinyl plank, tile, area rugs, and more in many styles, brands, and colors. New furniture always brightens a home. We have a great selection of furniture, including sofa sets, recliners, and mattresses. Economy to premium, in stock and ready to brighten your home. Shop now at your local Derailed Commodity Flooring and Furniture, Brazelton in Independence, Kansas, and Joplin and Butler, Missouri.
Taco Mayo's new Filet Olé Steak Bowl is piled high with filet mignon.
It's filet mignon.
A heaping bowl loaded with refried beans, Mexicali rice, cheddar jack sour cream, and tender filet mignon.
It's filet mignon.
Filet mignon. Filet mignon.
Filet mignon. Filet mignon.
Savor the juicy Filet Olé Steak Bowl stacked with filet mignon and only from Taco Mayo.
That's a wrap.
No, that's a bowl.
I'm Shane Neal. That's Chris Freund. Not a bowl, not a wrap. Chris Freund.
That was Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. He was gone by the time we got back. Never mind.
Ravens basketball as they inbound it to Chris Carroll. Good to see Isaac. Looks like he's okay. He's taking a tumble on the floor here a couple minutes ago, and that's a foul. And they're starting to get real nitpicky here.
Yeah. The difference in fouls being called in the first half and second half is pretty stark contrast, if you ask me.
We're barely over 4 minutes into the second half. We had 8 foul calls. That's one every possession, Chris, if you're doing the math at home.
I'm just impressed you were doing the math right there. But
Javen Kofer, nice spin move. Kofer, the kick to Alvin Cole, goes up with the jump shot and missed it. Sargent cleans up the rebound.
But yet on a call that they should have made, they didn't make it.
In and out on that shot, Isaac Jackson, another rebound. That shot short. Isaac tries to save it and does. Nearly collided with the dance squad now. Man, Isaac is a danger to everyone in attendance. Kofer hands it off to Carroll. Nice pump fake, three-point shot. Cash.
And a timeout.
First game as a Red Raven. Chris Carroll, pretty good at this whole basketball thing. Hutchinson Blue Dragons, oh, what you could have had.
Yeah, sophomores from both men's and women's teams making a big impact. Transfers making big impact.
And we talked to Coach Turner about maybe, smelling blood in the water, knowing they would compete for a championship this year, going for more experienced players. And, Coach Herkiman probably thinking the same thing, saying, I only have two players from last year's team coming back, and I think we might be, a third sophomore away from being really good. Let me call up Hutchinson and see if we can go get an old friend.
The old friend is paying big dividends in this game.
No doubt about it. And after starting the game, 1 for 6, 1 for 7, since then, has he missed?
I don't believe so.
How many Red Ravens, I'd be curious to ask Coach Herkelman in his 29 years as a coach, how many Red Ravens have put up 20-plus in their first game?
Now, that would be a great question to ask.
Tyler Perry, I could see him doing it.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, impressive first impression. The fans of this program, if they've been listening to Coach Herkelman, they knew that there were high expectations with Mr. Carroll. But I think he's exceeded even anyone's expectations for at least game 1.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing to see him come out and make the impact that he has already in the first game of this season. I can't wait to see, as the games, game 10, 15, 20. Goodness gracious.
Janai Summers back in for the Ravens. It's Jackson, Kofer, Carroll, Summers, and Cole. And that pass stolen by Isaac Jackson, one-handed. Man, I'll tell you what. Pass underneath to Cole. Cole goes up and missed it, got his own rebound. Goes back up and dunks it. If at first you don't lay it in, go up and stuff it.
Exactly.
Chris, I don't know if Isaac Jackson's going to average 15 points a game this year. We'll find out as we go, but I'll tell you what, he is an elite defender.
His defense has been amazing. To track balls down, to make the steals. Yeah.
You can tell on a team that's played really good defense tonight, he is the leader of that defense.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he now takes on Denham. Smith goes up, blocked it, but a foul called late. And Denham landed pretty hard on that shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. Gets a little help up, and good to see that he's moving around, because when it first happened, I saw him grab that arm, and never good when you instantly grab the arm.
No, that is true.
These guys are, to get to play college basketball, you got to be pretty tough human beings, and when you see instant grasping of clear pain, it's never usually a good sign. But Smith at the line, he knocks down the first free throw. C.J. Smith back in for Isaac Jackson. And Chris, I feel like C.J. Smith has had the quietest, really solid debut by a freshman that we've seen all night. He's just been really good. He's knocked down a couple threes. He's, you know what they say when you're in school, in like elementary school, and they say if the teacher doesn't know your name, it's probably a good thing.
Yes, exactly.
That's kind of how we feel tonight. We haven't said C.J. Smith's name a lot just because he's been solid.
That's true. Yeah.
Carroll, another shot. That one off. Cole on the glass, and he's fouled. Oh, they're going to call it over the back. I don't know. I thought he already had the ball. I don't love that call. I do not love that call. And that's something Coach Odom did last year. He's doing it again this year. He yells out everybody's matchup defensively, make sure there's no confusion. Each individual player, you've got him, you've got him, you've got him. It makes this Raven defense very, very tight-knit, as Cole couldn't handle that.
Yeah, just off the fingertips. But you're right about C.J. Smith. 6 points, 2 or 3 from three-point range, and just
couple rebounds.
Couple of rebounds, yeah.
An assist, only 1 turnover. He's just been rock solid.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
If Jay Herkelman doesn't know your name, it means you're probably doing the right things. I feel like Jay Herkelman is that kind of like elementary school teacher where it's like, don't let him know your name.
Right, exactly.
If he's calling your name, it's usually probably because you're screwing up. That's a foul on Cole. It'll send Fort Scott to the line. Fort Scott in the bonus the rest of the way. Just got 13:43 to go in this game.
See, that's a big difference between the first half and this half. Already in the bonus with more than half of the half to go. It could be a longer half.
You're not kidding. Before we leave, I'm gonna have to have you remind me, as the second free throw from Patrick is good, to take a picture of those stats you took for the women's game and send them to me so that we can cover these games on the Sportscast tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'll be all right for this one. We got the printer fixed.
Exactly. It's amazing to see what happens when you have a printer go down and you have to take your own stats. You can barely count.
He did a very noble job. He did. 30-second timeout. We'll stay here. Ravens lead 62-40.
If you can read this, you'll be doing very well.
Yeah, you're not lying.
Because I can't read this. For those listening, we're checking out the stats from the girls' game.
I think you did all right. You have a slash to separate the halves. You have total points on the far right. That's all I need, really. What we have Daya end up with 17, 16 for Ivy Fox, 12 for the freshman Alexis Parker. Man, I'll tell you what, you weren't lying that we had a tough decision to make between Daya, Fox, and Parker for player of the game. They were all sensational.
They all played absolutely great games. But for me, the big difference was Parker. It was her first collegiate game, and to come out and play as great as she did all around, just the entire game.
No doubt.
That's the reason why I chose Parker as the player of the game. You have the right to disagree with me.
Raven basketball here. They lead it by 22. They get it to the corner to C.J. Smith. Smith working, going baseline, trying to kick it. And a couple players got their hands on it. It's stolen by the Greyhounds. B.J. Francis now lost it on the other way, and that's a foul against Cofer. Really? All the contact was made after he lost the ball. Where was the foul on that?
I sure didn't see one, especially with
Francis had lost the ball when they made contact with each other. I don't know. Ball don't lie. He misses the free throw. And Cole diving for it, gets the ball, and landed out of bounds. Good effort, though. There you hear Coach Kirkland go, since Isaac's out, we can't rebound the ball. $13-18 to go. Inbounds play here for Fort Scott. We get it to Francis. Francis gets a screen from Derek McDonald. Inside they go to McDonald. McDonald goes up, missed the shot. Rebound Alvin Cole. Kofer, a lot of pressure from Fort Scott, but he gets it ahead to CJ Smith. Hand it back to Kofer. Kofer driving baseline. Carroll corner. Got it. They keep leaving him open. What are you doing? He's pushing 30 points. Spin move. McDonald goes up and dunks it. 65-42. That one knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Ravens.
Well, hey, I mean, you know, if CC keeps taking threes for CCC, it's going to be a long game for Fort Scott. CJ Smith brings it up. And fun fact about CJ, he was a late commit this spring. But when he committed, he was the #1 player in the state of Oklahoma. Janai Summers for three. And that's good. First team all Oklahoma City, second team all state with CJ Smith his senior year of high school. Goodness gracious.
Up ahead, Summers to Cole. Cole with a pump fake. Goes up and draws the foul. And Alvin Cole will go to the free throw line. Alvin Cole right now pretty much playing center at 6'7". He's done a noble job. Media timeout, 11:52 to go. Ravens 68, Fort Scott 44. Coffeyville looks strong. And Chris Carroll looks the strongest of all. We're back in 60 seconds on US 98, the Red Ravens Sports Network.
NDB can protect your assets and save you money. They represent numerous insurance companies so that they can help you find the right insurance at the right price for you. NDB at 812 West 11th in Coffeyville. Call Ben Vietz at 620-251-1970 and relax.
When you choose Coffeyville Regional Medical Center, our dedicated team of surgeons, anesthesia, nurses, and other medical professionals are focused on you and your health. Our board-certified general surgeons provide expert surgical care close to home. From a routine colonoscopy to a life-saving mastectomy, the general surgeons at CRMC are equipped to handle many types of surgical procedures. For more information, call CRMC Medical Group at 620-252-1639.
Let's call it 59 minutes into the season, 58 minutes into the season. I think Coffeyville, Kansas fans, citizens, students, teachers, family members are all feeling pretty good. You know, there might be some dogs out there that are understanding what's going on and feeling pretty excited.
Oh, exactly. I mean, good grief. How can you not be excited about what you've seen from both men's and women's teams here?
And in theory, Chris, the idea is the first game of the year is the worst game you play of the year. You only get better from then on out.
Right.
So if this is these teams, you know, with like, you know, we know they have room to grow, but if this ends up being one of the worst performances of the year, you can count on one hand maybe the amount of games they're going to lose this year.
Right. And now Red Ravens with a 25-point lead halfway through the second half.
I was going to say, we still got 12 full minutes to go, and they're already pushing 70 points. Unbelievable. And that one stolen. Here comes Kofer the other way, finding Summers. Missed it. No, it rolled in. Even if he missed it, Keita was going to be there, but he got the roll, and Janai Summers, he's been another impressive player for the Ravens. Handoff, and that three is off. Rebound, Keita. Keita and Carroll both went up for it. Keita's the one who's going to get credit for it. You got to love that kind of energy on the glass.
Oh, yeah, just came into the game, and he's already just up and down the court.
Chris Carroll with it. Chris Carroll has been unreal in his Raven debut. Hands it off to Janai Summers. Down low, Keita. Keita backing down, spinning, going up, and missed it. Got his own rebound. BK going back up and missed again, but love the aggressiveness.
Yeah, normally those shots would fall.
Andre Norris. Denham Smith the drive. Denham Smith, nice finish inside over the block attempt of Boubacar Keita. Now, Chris, I don't know if you know this. I know a lot of Red Raven fans know this. Boubacar's older brother, Blaze, played 2 seasons here. He's a little bit bigger than BK, as he's 6'11", and now he plays center at Nebraska.
He's a Husker.
He's a Cornhusker. BK and Muhammad hit the deck there fighting for that ball. How about that, though? If you're the Keita parents, you know, you have your older son playing at Nebraska, you have your younger son starting at Coffeyville with the potential to move up to D1 after the season. They did, they did all right with athletes in the family.
Yeah, I'd say
2 college basketball players. You could do a whole lot worse.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder how tall they are. Just out of curiosity.
You got to think at least 6'5", right?
I would think so.
Their kids are 6'11" and 6'9".
Yeah, probably so. Probably so.
BK at a Bamako Malley. And that shot is good by, that's by Bess, Nixon Bess. He also, when BK came over to the States, he played at Sunrise Christian Academy. That's how he got to the state of Kansas, played in Bel Air. But originally from Bamako Malley. That one's stolen. And that's something that we talked about in the pregame, Chris. Don't give this Fort Scott team free possessions.
Right.
You know Coach Herkelman frustrated about the giveaways. Janai Summers shakes a couple defenders, finds C.J. Smith, who put it in, but a foul was called first. I'll tell you what, the most exciting takeaway of the night might be that no matter if it's Carroll, Summers, or Smith, the starting shooting guard for this Red Raven team is 6'6", 6'7". The 2 guard.
Yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Some people just know how to recruit.
I wouldn't know who that is.
Free throw's good from Summers. Ravens now in the bonus.
Oh, the thing I'm taking away from this game so far, from the point guard position, both Comfort and Griffith, they each bring a little bit of a different style. So it gets really quiet.
Second free throw here by Summers. That is good. As Fort Scott comes back the other way, I do want to make sure that I point out, like I said, that 3-point shot is off. Rebound, Isaac Jackson. It is the season opener for me. I'm not going to be perfect tonight. And appreciate Coach Turner letting me know that Blaze and BK are not directly related. So I got that mixed up.
Aha.
I got that mixed up.
Good to know. Good to know.
Wanted to make sure I pointed that out before we went the entirety of the season, assuming that. So that's my bad.
Gotcha.
Appreciate Coach Turner for listening.
Yeah, really. But it's interesting to me to just
it is
to see the difference between Kofor and Griffith.
Yeah.
And as far as what they bring to, what is that, technical?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Another one.
Is that 3 now in this game?
I think it is 3.
Because we had 1 before tip. We had 1 in the first half. Yeah, there you go. I mean, when you're down 26, there's multiple things that have not gone your way, but
true.
You're not going to win many games where you have 3 technical fouls.
No, and the last thing you want to do is give the Coffeyville a free throw and the ball. you just don't want to do that.
No doubt about it. Janai Summers with the basketball, had it poked, it's stolen. Sargent coming the other way, hands it off to Norris. Summers trying to recover, and that's chased down by C.J. Smith. Floater in the lane, no good. Rebound, Griffith, up ahead, Jackson. Isaac, taken off! For the first time this year, Air Jackson has liftoff. And a timeout called. Right-hand tomahawk. How about that for your first dunk of the year?
Yeah, we were waiting for that to happen, and it finally happened. With 9 minutes to go here in the game, and a comfortable lead so far for CCC.
No doubt about it. Like we said in the first half, Chris, that's Isaac Jackson's game. Elite defender, elite rebounder, good interior scorer. You don't have to force it. You don't have to, he's going to be one of the better forwards in this league, and he doesn't have to force it. One of the things that Dirk Andrews and I talked about is we think that Isaac can have a very Hayden Brittingham impact on this team.
Right.
But I don't want Isaac thinking he needs to be Hayden Brittingham.
Right.
Be Isaac Jackson, and you're going to be one of the better players for this team and in this league.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm excited to see who Isaac Jackson can be.
I think Isaac Jackson's excited to see who Isaac Jackson can be.
Exactly.
9 minutes to go, Ravens up 28. And let me just say, I appreciate the fact that as I'm easing into getting my voice ready for doubleheaders again and being back here at Nellis Hall, which I'm so excited about, by the way, that the ladies won by 50 and the guys are up by 30 just really helps me kind of ease my way in. We don't have a one-score game late. Last year, obviously, when these two teams, the Sargent misses the shot, Jackson the rebound, when the girls played Labette and the guys played Fort Scott, we had a loss in an overtime game. So it's very different this year, and it's helping me just kind of get my footing again. So big shout out to Coach Herc and Coach Turner for kind of letting me have that little, there's training wheels for a night.
Well, that was the main goal as we go for a three. No good.
BK got a hand on it, and we'll see if that keeps it alive for the Ravens. It does. Griffith hands it off to Smith. Smith going up, put it in.
That was one of their main goals, is to kind of, give your voice a break even during a doubleheader tonight. So that's what they told me kind of off the record.
Yeah. 8 minutes to go.
Don't believe that.
Step back jumper by Francis. That is a pretty play. Wow. Had BK right there and hit the shot over the outstretched 6'9" forward that's had a great night defensively.
They list him as 5'11" and hit that over BK.
Griffith floater on the other way, and the 5'11" point guard for the Ravens responds. And that pass hits the official. It'll stay with the Greyhounds. Ravens can't believe it again. Isaac Jackson, Jay Herkelman almost, flabbergasted looking at each other. Even the cheerleaders are stunned this isn't Raven ball.
Yeah, there is a little bit of chatter amongst themselves. Like, shouldn't that be CCC ball? That's what the cheerleaders are saying.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there's a lot of people saying that right now. Exactly. Ravens up 30, 80-50. A lot of people are saying this Red Raven team looks good on opening night.
Yeah.
We're back in 60 seconds on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
Oh.
90 days and $1,000 cash allowance for qualified buyers. We have a great selection of Silverados, and 2024 models are showing up daily. Roman Chevrolet will donate $5 to the American Cancer Society for every social media post shared. The goal is to donate $170,000. Test drive a new 2023 Chevy Silverado and check out the huge selection of pre-owned vehicles at Roman Chevrolet, 2313 West Main, Independence, your Silverado city.
When you need to rely on a nursing facility for the care of a loved one, wouldn't it be comforting to know that the owner is providing the care? Owner Stephanie Bean with Medical Lodges is proud to supply that tender care in Coffeyville. Skilled nursing services, rehabilitation, adult daycare, and much more are all offered. Visit medicallodges.com or stop by 2921 West 1st in Coffeyville and learn more. Medical Lodges Coffeyville.
27 to go. I see walking out of the building there across the court, Coach Griffin Walker, the head boys basketball coach of Field Kinley. Of course, they're still about a month away from their first game, but not many better guys than Coach Walker, and we wish him and the NATO the best moving forward this year.
No,
and let me tell you, nobody knows how to call a bull riding competition like Griffin Walker.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
He was born for that. He was born for that. That was one of his finer moments, I'd like to think.
No doubt.
Not one of my finer moments. That's
mine
for sure.
either.
Muhammad hands it off. This is Journey. The drive, the layup, and blocked by Keita. And they try to get it back to BK, and that's a turnover. Andre Norris coming the other way. It's 80-50. And losing it there, Muhammad, but it ends up with Norris. 7 minutes to go. Ravens have put up 80 points. And they got Keita in the air that time, and that's a nice finish inside by Mossberg. Very aggressive defender is BK, and that time they faked the shot, got him in the air, and easy finish. CJ Smith the other way, and that's just a strong finish by CJ Smith, who continues to have a really solid debut. That pass high. Nice catch by the fan in the front row.
It's too bad there aren't any souvenirs because he would deserve one after that one.
Yeah, you can't keep the basketball like you can in other sports.
Yeah, I guess not.
Brian Griffith brings it up. Ravens up by 36.5 to play. Crossover move. Pretty move by Brian Griffith. Floater's short. Jackson battling.
Man.
Carroll now battling. And they call it Fort Scott ball.
Wow.
Isaac Jackson again is adamant that that's Red Raven basketball.
It's amazing to me how much defense is being played and just tight defense being played, and it just by both teams. But
Carroll with the steal as
CCC.
you say that. BK up ahead to CJ Smith. Smith steps into the corner, step back three off the side of the backboard, and a foul will be called against CJ for a hold. We'll see Gio Walton check back in.
CCC up by 30 with 6 minutes to go, and you would think they were only up by 3 the way they're playing. The intensity is just incredible to me from start to finish.
And that's what separates good teams from great teams, Chris, is the teams that can play intense for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what, this Raven team, one of their few weaknesses a year ago was they'd go on 6, 7, 8 minute stretches where they just kind of fell apart, and it allowed teams like Butler and Barton and Dodge to claw their way back into a game and steal it late. I'm sure Coach Herkelman, Coach Odom, Coach Proctor are very, very much emphasizing intense 40 minutes. No foot off the gas. 2 free throws good from Sargent. Into the game is Cameron Reyes, the 6'7 sophomore from the Bronx. I love college basketball. I've never seen 6'7 look so normal.
It does, doesn't it?
Chris Carroll bringing it up the other way. Gio Walton stops on a dime, hands it off to Carroll. Griffith fakes the three. Griffith has some great speed. Works his way into the left corner, cut off by Reyes. 12 to shoot here for Coffeyville. Griffith trying to get it to Carroll, threw it away. It's stolen by Norris. Norris going up and laying it in, plus the foul. Andre Norris with the heads-up play, got the steal, got the score. Now we'll see Griffith come out, Kofor come in. A couple subs for Fort Scott as well. Number 32, Joshawn Dembo, as well as number 50, Derek McDonald. First time we've seen Dembo tonight. He's the freshman out of Beeville, Texas. Isaac Jackson, big rebound, man. That's what I'm telling you what. As he almost lost it, got it back, and now throws it up ahead to BK. BK, the pass to Walton, back to Kofor. Kofor hands it off to BK, goes up and had it stripped. So we've seen some stretches where the Ravens have been a little sloppy, but all in all, an impressive night one. That one nearly through the hands of Reyes. And now nearly through the hands of Dembo. 3-point shot there is off by Norris. Rebound Kofor. Carroll steps into another three. It's good.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what the line is for Chris Carroll to be the leading scorer for this team in the early goings of this season, but I'd hammer it. 4:40 to go, 85-56. Over, under, Chris Carroll, whatever. Bet the over.
Yeah, no
That
doubt.
shot is off. McDonald on the glass. Norris going right at Cada. Goes up. Cada got a piece of it. Both players hit the deck. Norris wanted a foul. Cada gets the block. Now coming the other way, Kofer. This Fort Scott team, very aggressive defensively.
Yeah, they really are.
Gio Walton with the basketball now. Back to Kofer. Kofer hands it off to Carroll. Carroll thought about it. Step back. Fakes. Now tries to get it to Cada. Cada spinning. Got around the initial player and then went up and couldn't finish. Got a little bit caught in between layup and dunk there. Norris steps in there. Excuse me, that's Dembo, and he missed it. Jackson the rebound. Walton. What? Look at the hustle of Gio Walton. I think Fort Scott kind of acted like he had already had it stripped and they had the ball. Walton ran it down, got it back, and laid it in. Nice play by Gio Walton.
Totally unexpected, but hey, great results.
Caparasso heads to the scorer's table, and he'll check in as that might be the end of the night for BK. And I'll tell you what, I didn't need to see the dunk off the front of the rim to know, but he definitely looks exhausted here in night one. Final media timeout of the night, 87-56. Ravens cruising to win number one. We'll be back in 60 seconds on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
This is Community State Bank at Work. This is Community State Bank at Work in our community. From kids' activities to school programs to funding home and business loans, every day Community State Bank is at work in our neighborhood. Whether you bank at Community State Bank or not, they're working for you every day. Community State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Mike Avey, and at Community State Bank, we believe in Coffeyville.
You have a choice on where to go and who you want to be. Here at Coffeyville Community College, you can be you. We can make you workforce ready at one of our technical campuses, be a student athlete, join an honors program or an activity, have a voice with student government, and be involved with student life events. Our school believes in our red and white traditions, providing you with a quality education and preparing you for the next journey in life. Once you experience our campus, you know you've made the right choice. Let us help you make our story your story. And
7:56, Red Ravens with the lead, 3:25 to go. I'm Shane Neal, Chris Freund alongside. Well, free throws here for Andre Norris out of the timeout. Norris, a 6'4" sophomore out of Arlington, Texas. First free throw is good. For a team that's down by 30 in their first game of the year, you know, I don't know if I don't know if I've ever had as many good things to say about as I have about Fort Scott tonight. I really don't think they've played all that bad.
No, they really haven't played bad at all. They've just come up against a very determined, very gelling, especially for first game, CCC team.
Checking in for the Greyhounds, number 13, the freshman Dominic Buddy, who's out of Fort Scott, so hometown kid. And here come the Greyhounds the other way. Now, something I'm sure we'll talk about in the postgame, Chris, is something we kind of expected with a team full of freshmen and new players. They have turned the ball over a little bit too much.
Right. Especially in the second half.
Muhammad attacks, missed it. Nice defense from Caparasso. Rebound by Isaac Jackson. Kofer hands it off to Isaac. Isaac hands it off to Chris Carroll. Carroll fakes the jump shot down low. Caparasso missed it. And the rebound cleared out by Reyes. And they try to flip it to the corner. And they get it to Muhammad, who hands it off to Dembo. Dembo moving around a screen, going right. Dembo going up, blocked by Caparasso. I don't think that's the first time or the last time we're going to be saying that this year.
No, that's for sure, and I think it's going to be different on the offensive end by the time we get to the end of the season.
Muhammad gets the inbound pass, 10 to shoot for the Greyhounds. And a three in the corner there for Reyes, way off. Rebound, Gio Walton. Walton coming the other way. This is Carroll. Carroll on the left side. To the top of the key, this is Isaac Jackson. We'll see Malachi Taylor make his way to the scorer's table. Carroll. Chris Carroll, maybe his final offensive possession of the night. Kicks it to Gio Walton. Corner three is a little strong. Jackson battling, gets the ball back, and Isaac lays it up and in. Elite rebounder.
And even got a poke in the eye for that one.
Minute 35 to go, 89-58, Red Ravens. The drive, the kick. Carroll with good defense there. This is Derek McDonald getting it up top to Dembo. 10 to shoot for the Greyhounds. Dembo, step back three, and hits it. Nice shot there by Joshawn Dembo. Carroll double team, gets it to Isaac Jackson, up ahead to Kofer. Kofer, pass to Gio Walton. Walton goes up, had it blocked by McDonald. And now up ahead they go to Reyes. Reyes will go at Isaac Jackson, and he's fouled on the way up. With a minute 3 to go, and that might end the night for Isaac and Chris Carroll. I'd assume they're probably pulling the starters here with a minute to go. Malachi Taylor, Alvin Cole, the two at the scorer's table. How about that? Isaac's fouled out of the game, so Isaac is one of the ones that is getting replaced.
Right.
And Chris Carroll, of course, the other one as well. Malachi Taylor, he was the best finisher of all the guys in the three-point contest. He did lose to Bailey Lehman in the finals, but he was the best shooter of all the guys. And I feel like in night number one, Chris, we just got a vintage Isaac Jackson performance. Good defense, good rebounding, opportune scoring. That's just what Isaac Jackson is.
And a dunk.
Caparasso the rebound after a pair of missed free throws. Up ahead to Kofer. Kofer to Gio Walton. Walton slows it down. Back to Kofer. Kofer sends a three. In and out. Coming the other way. Dembo steps into another three. In and out. Rebound Alvin Cole. This will be the final offensive possession of the night for the Red Ravens. Can they cross the 90-point plateau in their season debut with 11 freshmen and 12 new players? Driving, kicking. Malachi Taylor fakes the three, puts it up, and missed it. Offensive rebound, Cole. He goes back up. No. Third try is good. Charles Caparasso. His first collegiate points. Ravens with a 30-point lead, 15 seconds left. Great first night at Nellis Hall. As Reyes has it poked by Walton. Dembo fakes. 2 seconds left. Three in the corner for McDonald is off. That's how it ends. Lady Ravens win by 50. The guys win by 30. 2 1-0 starts. Coffeyville looks strong to start the season. 91-61 the final. Let's step away for 4 minutes. When we come back, Ravens 1-0. We'll break it down on the Red Raven postgame show. That starts in 4 minutes on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
Or other sources provide assistance with the cost. Home is where the help is. Call Windsor Place At Home Care, 800-982-1866.
Enjoy the new, cool, refreshing taste of Outlaw Mile High Beer, now available at Gillum Liquor and Coffeyville for just $15.99 for a 24-pack of cans. And ask about their buy one, get one offer on Mile High Beer. And Gillum's is stocked with all your summer favorites, like the 17.5s, Captain Morgan, Tito's, and Crown. Pick up Captain Morgan's Tropical Punch, just $6.25, a savings of $15.74. Watch for more upcoming tastings at Gillum's Liquor, 1713 West 8th Street in Coffeyville.
Make your home more comforting with help from Derailed Commodity. Update your flooring with the area's largest selection of in-stock carpet, luxury vinyl plank, tile, area rugs, and more in many styles, brands, and colors. New furniture always brightens a home. We have a great selection of furniture, including sofa sets, recliners, and mattresses. Economy to premium, in stock and ready to brighten your home. Shop now at your local Derailed Commodity Flooring and Furniture, Brazelton in Independence, Kansas, and Joplin and Butler, Missouri.
This is Meat Mountain, and up there on the summit awaits the all-new Filet-O-Lay Steak Bowl from Taco Mayo. A heaping bowl filled with Mexican favorites and literally erupting with filet mignon. The Filet-O-Lay Steak Bowl can be yours if you make it past Chuck's Steak Canyon and the deadly sirloin abyss. Filet mignon beckons, my friend, on the meaty, mighty pinnacle of beefdom. The Filet-O-Lay Steak Bowl from Taco Mayo. Welcome to Meat Mountain.
Got a car? Maybe a motorcycle or even a boat? Do you rent or own your own home? If you have any of these, call NDB in Coffeyville and then relax. NDB can protect your assets and save you money. They represent numerous insurance companies so that they can help you find the right insurance at the right price for you. NDB at 812 West 11th in Coffeyville. Call Ben Vietz at 620-251-1970 and relax.
When you choose Coffeyville Regional Medical Center, our dedicated team of surgeons, anesthesia, nurses, and other medical professionals are focused on you and your health. Our board-certified general surgeons provide expert surgical care close to home. From a routine colonoscopy to a life-saving mastectomy, the general surgeons at CRMC are equipped to handle many types of surgical procedures. For more information, call CRMC Medical Group at 620-252-1639.
It's truck season at Roman Chevrolet. All 2023 Chevy Silverados qualify for 0% interest, no payments for 90 days, and $1,000 cash allowance for qualified buyers. We have a great selection of Silverados, and 2024 models are showing up daily. Roman Chevrolet will donate $5 to the American Cancer Society for every social media post shared. The goal is to donate $170,000. Test drive a new 2023 Chevy Silverado and check out the huge selection of pre-owned vehicles at Roman Chevrolet, 2313 West Main, Independence, your Silverado City.
When you need to rely on a nursing facility for the care of a loved one, wouldn't it be comforting to know that the owner is providing the care? Owner Stephanie Bean with Medical Lodges is proud to supply that tender care in Coffeyville. Skilled nursing services, rehabilitation, adult daycare, and much more are all offered. Visit medicallodges.com or stop by 2921 West 1st in Coffeyville and learn more. Medical Lodges Coffeyville, where they serve and enhance the lives of others with caring hands.
Ravens get the win, 91-61 in the season opener. I'm Shane Hill, Chris Freund alongside with me. It's the Red Raven post-game show here on US 98, the Red Raven Sports Network. Big thanks to Dirk for getting me that final stat sheet.
No doubt,
we were cutting it close.
We were.
But Dirk comes through in the clutch as he usually tends to do. But a big game for the Ravens. They scored 91 points in their first game. And Chris, we might as well get it out of the way, our US 98 player of the game. The reason why they put up 91 points, 29 points. Gotta guess that's one of the most ever in a Raven debut. What a debut for Chris Carroll.
Yeah, definitely. 29 points, and here's the big thing. 8 of 8 from the free throw line. 5 of 8 from three-point range. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I'd say that's a good debut.
Not a bad day in the office, to say the least. Ravens' final stat line, 46% from the floor, 38% from three, 81% from the free throw line. I think Coach Herkelman will take that for game number 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fort Scott, 36% from the floor, 14% from three. They really struggled outside, and they shoot 64% from the game. Ravens outscore the Greyhounds 46-25 in the first half, 45-36 in the second half. Leading scorers tonight for Fort Scott, 14 for Davian Sargent, 10 for Dennis Kadrick, and 8 from Denham Smith. For the Ravens, again, it was 29 from Chris Carroll. You also had 13 from Janai Summers and 12 from C.J. Smith. Again, we talked about it. Really quiet, solid debut from C.J. Smith. 12 points, 4 rebounds, and he hit 5 of his 8 shots.
Now, was it Isaac Jackson who said he wanted to average a double-double?
Yeah, that's correct.
He did. He did. 10 points, 13 boards.
16 boards, Chris.
60, you're right. 13 defensive, 3 offensive. You're right.
Isaac Jackson, I'd be willing to bet. We're one game into the year, and we have not seen a lot of the teams in this conference. But it would take one heck of a machine for me to see from some other school to not say Isaac Jackson is the best rebounder in the JR.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That.
Isaac Jackson is 6'7", but how athletic and how high his IQ is down low getting boards, you'd think he's 7'4".
He sure does play like it.
Doesn't he?
That's for sure.
10 points, 16 rebounds. I'm sure, I don't think he's going to be averaging 16 rebounds a game all year, Chris, but I'm sure Jay Herkelman will take that 10 to 12 points per game and 12 or 13 rebounds per game. That's exactly what you're looking for out of a player like Isaac Jackson.
No doubt about it.
BK ends up with 6 points, 3 of 8 shooting. He had 2 rebounds, played with a little bit of foul trouble. But I'll tell you what, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Doesn't look like a crazy stat line for BK, but, the times that he was on the floor, especially in the first half, he was a difference maker, especially on defense.
No doubt about it. And another stat I'm looking at, Coffeyville wins the turnover battle. 14 turnovers for Coffeyville, 19 for Fort Scott. So you like to see that.
And look at this. I didn't even have to remind him, and here comes Coach Jake Odom to talk with us here in the postgames. Let's step away for 60 seconds. Coach Odom will break it down for us when we come back on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.
Community State Bank telling me it was deposited.
Alert! What did you do now?
No, Donna. It was an alert I signed up for, letting me know when a deposit is made. I also signed up for a low balance alert on our account and when our home loan payment is posted.
Wow, that's some pretty fancy stuff from Community State Bank.
Yes, Donna, pretty fancy stuff, but I can still walk right through the door or I can call and talk to a real banker when I want to.
You're so smart for banking at Community State Bank, Ralph. I love you.
Make your life easier with mobile banking from Community State Bank. Member FDIC.
I love you too, Donna.
Red Ravens 30-point victors in night number 1 of the 23-24 season. We're joined by Coach Jake Odom here after the game. And, Coach, no such thing as a perfect season opener, but I think like we talked about with Coach Turner and the ladies, I think you'd rather have, stuff to work on offense and play some really good defense than the other way around. I think for the most part tonight, your defense was very solid.
Yeah, it's an effort thing. Coach Herc's been teaching it for a long time on the defensive end, and that's why he's got a lot of championships. But, yeah, it's an effort thing. We came together today. It's team defense, being in the gaps, staying in front of the ball, and then finishing with a defensive rebound, and we did a really good job of that tonight.
Coach, your team, like you mentioned, the rebounding battle, 46-28, big part of that, 16 rebounds for Isaac Jackson. He said before the season his goal was to average a double-double this year, and he ends with 10 points, 16 rebounds. I think that's exactly the kind of player, a guy like Isaac can be for this team. 10, 12 points, 12, 13 rebounds. I think he delivered in the role that I think he's kind of carved out for this team.
Yeah, he's a winner. I mean, you watch him play. He's not out there shooting jump shots. He's in the paint. He's in the war, and he prides himself on getting rebounds. He's big time on the defensive end for us, too. He's a big switch guy, being able to keep the ball in front of him. But, yeah, 16 rebounds, I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Coach, a couple of your freshman wings had very solid debuts tonight. C.J. Smith finished with 12 points, knocked down 2 3-pointers. Janai Summers as well had 13, 3 assists as well. Both of those guys and a team full of a lot of unknowns. Have to like what you saw with both of those guys.
Yeah, we've been seeing it off and on. It's just the thing with freshmen, the consistency and getting it, every possession. We took a couple bad shots late with those two, but they're learning experiences. But they came out and played good. We're unselfish. Didn't really turn the ball over and knock down some threes. So, we're proud of those guys and excited to see what they can do the rest of the year.
And, Coach, final thing I have for you with 11 freshmen on this team, 12 new players into this program. You really, I'm sure, didn't really know what to expect on the offensive end until you saw it in game action. But 29 points for Chris Carroll. I'm not sure what the program record is for most points in a debut, but I said it's got to be up there. 29 points in your CCC debut, pretty impressive. What about Chris Carroll's offensive game has this program excited about what he can do this year?
Well, he can do a little bit of everything. He's 5 for 8 from 3. He can post up. He can drive. I think his most impressive stat of the night was only having 1 turnover. He gets a lot of usage, and he's got the ball in his hands a lot. If he can cut down on his turnovers and keep doing that, he'll have a bright future.
No doubt. And Coach, final again, I lied. Final thing, 17 of 21 at the free throw line, 81%. I'm sure you'll take that in game 1.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit better than some of our games last year. So, yeah, we can live with over 80% and getting 20 free throws in a game. That's pretty good. So, yeah, we can live with that.
The new look Red Ravens get win number 1, 91-61 over Fort Scott. Coach Jake Odom, good enough to join us. Coach, thanks so much for the time, and congrats on the dub.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You're going to be calling a playoff football game on Friday night.
I am. I know there's a single game on Friday, single game on Saturday, and I won't be at either one of those, but I will be keeping tabs because I'll be over in Chetopa for a 6-man football game.
You have a very good reason. You have playoff football on Friday night, and on Saturday, you're celebrating what you should be celebrating today, but you decided to spend it with us. Big happy anniversary to you and your wife on 9 years.
Appreciate that. She is used to it. I was a Nashville musician, and yeah, I missed a lot of birthdays and anniversaries, so she said, okay, one more is not going to hurt.
Well, big thanks to Nick Bryan back in the studio. Big thanks to Andrew Elrod and his team for getting this plane off the ground in the 23-24 season. For Chris Freund, I'm Shane Neal saying so long from Nellis Hall. Ravens off to a great start this season, and we'll talk to you on Friday night on US 98 and the Red Raven Sports Network.